Sometimes we're given medicines in the form of tea, or and it's just a rule of thumb that we don't blow. When you're having soup or you're drinking tea, our most common practice when we're doing that is to blow on it. And I was told that when we blow on medicines, we're blowing that medicine off of that tea. So just let it simmer. Wait for it to cool off naturally. Don't blow on it. And I think when we start our sacred fires and medicines that we have, and for out of the same respect, we don't blow on that fire with our breath. We have different fans or whatever for the sacred fire to start it, and not to blow on it. Try not to blow on your smudge either. Medicines that you're preparing to smudge with. I just sit and sip my tea whenever I see people doing that, and I try not to be too critical of people in the way that they're learning. It's just how I was taught, and we have to take in mind that everybody is taught differently. Some people are a little bit more harsh in things that they do and how they treat one another. Just remember that, and say it in a loving and caring way. Whether they do it or not, it's totally up to them. Just say, this is how I was taught, and then explain. Don't just tell people to do something or not to do something. Try to explain in depth why, and it makes for a better learning environment. Spirit plates. Whenever we have our feasts, and I think I'm going to cover two things at once. Feasts can be for a lot of different reasons. It could be for a community feast. It could be for a drum. It could be for an eagle staff, sacred items. There are all different reasons to have feasts, and some are for the dead. Some are for just to honor community. When we have those feasts, we smudge down all the food, and we make sure to open up all the bottles, the cans of the beverages of what we're going to be drinking, and all the food is to have the pots lifted off. And when that food is all smudged, then the spirit plate happens, and how it was taught was the youngest person at that feast is the one that prepares. And I never really asked why it had to be the youngest. It was just something that I've always been taught to do. And they would take a little bit of every food and even that beverage and put it onto a plate, and then tobacco would be put on that plate. I've seen different ways of doing it, and people saying don't put tobacco on there because they don't want to eat tobacco. That offering, they're not literally coming down and eating that food. So whether the tobacco's on there or not it seems to be more of a personal thing. So when in Rome, I guess do it the way that Cookham tells you, and how you feel in your heart. A lot of times, a lot of that can be the way somebody was taught, and we always need to ask those questions. If you're having trouble with it, I implore everybody to always go out in your fast and ask those questions, and hopefully they'll come to you, even if it seems mundane, like, should I put tobacco on a feast plate? Somebody told me I wasn't supposed to. And the spirits will either tell you or they'll show you, or maybe not. Maybe you just have to go with your heart. So however you prepare that plate, we put that out for various reasons. When our loved ones come from the spirit world and they come see you in a dream, it takes a lot of energy for them to come from the spirit world here, so we feed that spirit. So whenever our loved ones come from the spirit world after they passed on and they come in to see you, they're bringing messages. Maybe it's just to say everything is okay. Maybe it's to let you know that things are happening within your lifetime, and to be aware of your surroundings. And we put plates of food out for that. We're feeding that soul of that spirit so that they can get back to the spirit world. Like I said, it takes a lot of energy, spiritual energy, to travel.